So we celebrate lot many things. We commemorate many days, and all of you have been participating many of our programs. In fact, all of our programs, they are successful because you people are participating in that. We are in the business of awareness, creating awareness about science, technology, or things which are related to our daily life. Today, we'll be having wonderful lecture on waste management and circular economy. That's also a very, very important thing. If somebody pays us so that we can manage our waste, perhaps we are more concerned about. If it is free, if nothing, you are not getting or gaining anything out of it, we'll throw it here and there. But if somebody says, okay, you bring your garbage, we'll pay you 100 rupees for one bag, we'll definitely do it. And that's what perhaps we are connecting with, that it is not only the waste, how you can create wealth from waste, which perhaps DAE, BRC, they are doing a lot of things in technology. We had the opportunity to visit Sarwan's BRC exhibition. Some of you might have visited. There are a lot of waste also in nuclear waste, which we are afraid of. But out of that also, they have created a lot of wealth. So we need to make people aware about that. And that's what perhaps the objective is. Today we have with us to make you understand how you can connect this waste management and circular. I remember there was a seminar in our in this auditorium only, and there are many if you go to Pune, they are converting this, and in many cities they have converted. They have set up a plant where they can your garbage can be taken and then they can create electricity or then perhaps it will be better. But everything cost that also. So that's why it has not been implemented on a wider scale. Perhaps some of you beautiful, what in terms of Dr. Jayaraman, young minds, beautiful minds, uh, you can create some sort of technology where it becomes much faster. Because nowadays, uh, I remember this year, electric vehicle. So the main problem is charging. It takes a lot of time because if you have a petrol or diesel, you just go to petrol pump. It may take maybe not more than 5 minutes to get it refilled. But in case of electricity or electric vehicle, it becomes. But nowadays, technology has improved because recently I've got a phone. Earlier, I used to charge my phone. It takes about 3.5 hours to get it completely charged. But nowadays, you have a phone, you plug it, and maybe within an hour, it gets completely. Since it was first time, I was really shocked. So I just plugged it. I thought it will take 3.5 hours, and after maybe within an hour, it asked me remove your plug. Its battery is completely charged. So the technology is changing. Perhaps you can create that. So let me introduce you for this Swachhata Hi Seva campaign 2024 for this lecture, Waste Management and Circular Economy by Dr. A.P. Jayaraman. So I will introduce you briefly. Uh, Dr. A.P. Jayaraman holds a PhD in Science, PGDMM in Management, and a Diploma in Engineering. So several things. Started his professional career at the age of 22 after graduating from the elite scientific officers training school of atomic energy. I don't know how many of you are aware about this, but this is one of the topmost, those who can get admission. It is wonderful. DAE, they runs a school which was started by visionary Dr. Bhava. Dr. Jayaraman, I think he was fortunate to interact with those people like Homi Baba, or I think even Sarabhai also. So uh, he had a distinguished and diverse career in several disciplines and divisions of the Department of Atomic Energy for 40 years. After retirement, he relocated to Singapore and worked as a professor of environmental engineering for Griffith University. He served as Dean Academic, Sadanam Institute of Management Studies, Palakkad, Kerala. He is the chairman of National Center for Science Communicators and is president of the Academy for STEAM. STEAM is STEAM, which is Science, Technology, Engineering, Art, and Mathematics. He's the president of Indian Development Foundation and is engaged in interacting with teachers and students across India on next generation science education and analytical thinking skills. He is the advisor to the Labor India group of publications, Kerala, on science and technology and career guidance. He is the past chairman of Indian Institute of Material Management and is guest faculty to numerous management institutes and B schools. He has delivered lectures and conducted workshops on scientific management and science education topics in the USA, UK, China, Korea, Japan, Singapore, Brazil, Malaysia, and the Middle East. Has won the International Copernicus Award from Poland for science popularization and numerous national and state awards in science communication. He is the author of 20 science books, over 3,000 science articles, and has led over 35,000 science and technology discourse hours. His latest book is We Are 118. It was in 2016 when we had International Year of Chemistry, an autobiography of the chemical elements released at the Royal Society of London. So I think we are fortunate to have Dr. Jayaraman with us. He's a friend of Science Center. He's our, I should say, torchbearer, you can say. And we always seek his guidance for our programs. He's always there to help us, to guide us. I'll request Dr. Jayaraman to come on the dais and Ms. Joya Zakir Patel from St. Lawrence High School to welcome Dr. Jayaraman by offering a small potted plant. Yeah, just let's have the photograph also. Thank you, Joya. And yeah, you already have clapped a lot. I'll request Dr. Jayaraman to come on the dais. In the morning also, we had a lecture. Those who could not or those who are interested, it was on cyber security. It is available on our YouTube channels or Facebook page also. But I will request all these young children or even parents also, teachers also. Hello. Just listen to that whenever you have time. You will be much more enriched how we can be safe in our cyber world.
Who will change the slides? Thank you. Good morning, all lovely little minds. I love science. I love Science Center. I love the director of the Science Center because he gives us an opportunity to learn science, do science. 24/7, he is on science. So we envy you. That's the beauty of it. And I have come here as a waste man. My business today is to speak about waste. Honestly, I was a waste man. I worked as a waste manager in the Baba Atomic Research Center for 10 years. So I know what waste is, how waste is to be managed. So my first question is, what is waste? Anybody would like to say what is waste? Can we hear? Anything which is, what is waste? That in the class 7th standard, teacher will ask, what is waste? And you have to give a reply. And if you don't write the right answer, you will not get the full mark. So it's very important. So let me ask this question. What is waste? Waste is unwanted material, unusable material, which we'll throw away. Now imagine you are going to your classroom. You have a pencil, a lead pencil, and you write with the pencil. After 3 months or 4 months, the pencil becomes very small. So you can't write. It will become, let us say, 3 centimeter or 4 centimeter. So it doesn't work. It becomes a waste. You have an eraser, you have a rubber, you go on erasing, you make a lot of mistakes, So you erase. and it will become thin, not usable. So what we do? Throw it to our neighbor's house. Because any waste, just at night, when nobody sees, it will fly. As director said, throwing from the car, it doesn't hit the. So this is the problem with waste. The clothes which we wear, they'll become waste. Of course, all of us will become waste at the end of our life. That is the biggest waste management. So this, we live in a world of waste. Now, our idea is to make a world without waste. This is the problem. We are living in a wasteland, and we are trying to remove all the waste and make it wealth. Not possible completely, but it is enough if we know we can reduce the waste. We can manage our waste. That is why it is called waste management. We call it waste management. So if you look at this, landfill, as if the whole land of the earth is made to fill with waste. That is why we call it landfill. And some people have given a scientific name, ground disposal. Ground disposal means throw in your neighbor's house. Ground is meant for disposal. So waste disposal by putting in the land is not a solution. If you look at the great landfills, you'll find lots of things, plastics, cotton, aluminum cans, and there you find vultures in the landfill. And remember, poor vultures, they eat some of the waste and they die. For example, there is a medicine called diclofenac, which humans are given so that we don't get pain reliever. That pain reliever is thrown away among waste, and vultures have eaten diclofenacs and vanished from the earth. That is a sad story. A landfill could be a dangerous place. Next one, please. Can I move to the next? Yes. So our idea is how to get rid of waste. There are three methods. We say we are economies. Economy means money matters. And all of us want to make money. We want to make maximum money in minimum time. That is why we are getting educated. We are getting post-graduation, doctorates and whatnot. Education, we are continuing in big, big ways. Why? To lead a good life. And to lead a good life, we need money. And therefore, we are now in an economy. A system in which money matters is called economy. And today, and after 10 years, all of you will enter. We are all in the knowledge economy. That is why we are studying hard. Why are we studying hard? Because we are in a knowledge economy. And in any economy, there is one way. Somebody makes and somebody sells. Somebody buys. Somebody uses. Throw it away. This is called linear economy. Making, selling, buying, using, throwing away. This cannot go on. The linear economy will not work. Please understand that. The linear economy makes waste. Throwing away matter answer then make more. So linear economy doesn't work. We have been told that now the only way for us to survive as human beings is to go circular, go round and round like a merry-go-round. The merry-go-round is the symbol which we have to use. We cannot run long road lines. And in a circular economy, you will always find that whatever you put in, when it becomes a waste, it is again put back. I will give you some more details of that. Next. So this take, make, use, throw away doesn't work. And you will find one word, NIMBYP. Not in my backyard, please. Don't throw it into my. Yeah, that's it. So waste management, never, you should have a proper place for disposing of your waste. Can I have the next slide? Yeah. Yes, this is the circular economy. You have the raw materials. And when you have a raw material, you should decide it in such a way. If you want 10 kilograms, and if you can do it in 5 kilograms, please do it with 5 kilograms. Make two things. don't have overweight. So this is what we call, companies, factories, they make production lines. Those production lines are fat now. We want to make them thin and lean. That is called lean manufacturing. And when we distribute, we should be very careful. I can distribute with a huge truck. I can distribute with electric vehicles. I can distribute with bicycles. Everything we do, we have to do with minimum energy. There are two things in the world, matter and energy. Both are costly. Matter is costly, energy is costly. And all the waste is coming from matter and energy. Einstein said E is equal to mc squared. So be careful when you deal with matter, when you deal with energy. Next one, please. Yeah, this is a detailed one. We need not go into that. In 10th standard, 11th standard, we'll go into it. Next one. Yes. Remember one word, C, A, B, C. C stands for carbon. Our problem is not gold or silver. Our problem today is carbon. And that carbon, it has, you have got hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon. That is what the teacher will teach you. So it has 6 protons in the nucleus. It has 6 electrons revolving around it. That little small atom is the trouble of all of our waste. Now, you know what a diamond is? Very costliest material. Nothing but carbon. The pencil you write, graphene, nothing but carbon. And there is another one called buckyball, which is a fullerene, a new form of carbon, allotrope of carbon. That is also carbon. Now, all these carbons have become our vocabulary. See, suppose at your 7th standard, you will be knowing about 5,000 words. Now you should know carbon words. And the carbon words you should study, learn is this: carbon capture, carbon cycle, carbon footprint, carbon emission, carbon sequestration, carbon stock, carbon tax. If you spend so much energy, you will get a carbon tax. Then carbon neutral, carbon offsetting, carbon equivalent. These are the words which you will be studying in your green chemistry. Chemistry has become green. I got a green flower and I got it from a girl who was wearing a green dress. So yeah, you are here. So green is the color of the world today. So remember, whenever you see carbon, think about it. Next one, please. And this carbon we are burning. Morning we get up, make tea, we turn the Burshane gas, propane and butane, switch on, carbon dioxide comes out, carbon dioxide goes up, and the earth becomes warm. A hot earth is a challenge to us. So these are the changes. When the earth is hot, the weather will change. There will be rain when you want sun, and you will get sun when you want rain. Next one, please. And today we are measuring carbon dioxide every day religiously. Early morning, get up and measure carbon dioxide in the world. And remember, each of us, all boys and girls, produce 1 kilogram of carbon dioxide per day. We eat food, rice, milk, chapati, vegetables. 1 kilogram of carbon dioxide production. We are a carbon dioxide production factory. Next one, please. And we measure, and we are now having 418 parts per million of air is carbon dioxide. It has been increasing. Oh, I cannot. Now look at this lovely cow. This also produces carbon dioxide like us. And people have been measuring carbon dioxide from the cow. Is it coming from the front or coming from the back? Many people thought it is coming from the front, but cows don't make noise. When carbon dioxide come out from the cows, it doesn't make noise. You will not get a burp sound over there. No, it comes from the mouth. It also comes from the back. And along with carbon dioxide, it gives another molecule called methane. 1 atom of carbon combining with 4 atoms of hydrogen, you have got CH4. And that methane is 28 times more harmful than your carbon dioxide. This is why we calculate carbon dioxide equivalent of other chemicals. So methane is extremely 28 times damage it will do to our environment. So there was a great lady, this is Ambassador Bratland. She wanted to define one word in which all these things can be put together. You know, making a word is very difficult. In dictionary, you cannot add a word just like that. So we were asking, teachers were asking their students, professors were asking their PhD students, what is this concept? Can you define? So she said sustainability. That was a word which everybody knows today. Is there anybody who doesn't know sustainability? Sustainability, sustainable development goals. Have you heard of? If you have not heard of, next another 20 years, you'll be hearing only this word. SDG 1, 2, 3, 17. 613 target goals. So sustainability will be the oxygen which you will be breathing in the schools and colleges. And she said, she gave the simplest definition. Most learned people, most brilliant people, they will give simple definitions. Ordinary people will give difficult decisions. So if teachers give you good definitions because you have to repeat, then only you'll get marks. She gave the most quoted definition which United Nations is using, and that says sustainability is meeting our own needs without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. I shouldn't do anything which will affect my grandchildren. If I drink 1 liter of water today, I should think that I should be able to get 1 liter of water for my grandchildren and their children. So look into the future, not your life. I will do what I like, doesn't matter. No, you have to look into your next generation and generation ahead. So looking forward into the future and making sure that they get what you are having, at least the minimum of that. That is what sustainability is. Now let's think about the cotton. All of you are wearing cotton coats. Some of them are in pure cotton. Some of them are half cotton, half nylon, polyester, rayon, silk, all sorts of things you do. We are all, see, our body is about 2 meters square in size. The width of our body, length and breadth, will be 2 meters square. To cover that 2 meters square of cloth, some people use long ones, 6 meter, 2 meter, long clothes. Some people wear tight clothes, short ones. But whatever it is, the idea is using clothes to cover our body. No human being, even prehistoric people were having some leather tied around their body. You will find that. So humans need clothes, and clothes make a big impact on your environment. Now, let's see, if you look at all the clothes in the cloth store, you will find half of it, 50% of it is made from cotton. And cotton is nothing but carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. It is called cellulose. So 27 million tons are produced every year. Not satisfied, we are now producing genetically modified cotton, GM cotton. And when we are making GM cotton, we want more water. So 1 kilogram of old cotton and 1 kilogram of new cotton, GM cotton, the water content has increased. We are using more natural resources. And that cotton, to use that cotton, we also need insect killers, pesticides. So lots of chemicals are used in there are a huge industry which we call agrochemical industry. They make, like fertilizers, they make poisons for the insects. And when you wear that cloth, those insecticides I am in contact with. So remember, we are living in a toxic world. And if you want to make one t-shirt, which will become waste afterwards, 3,000 liters of water are required. If you drink 1 liter water per day, 2.5 years of water required for you to drink is lost in one shirt. And you find recently, we have 8 billion people, 8 billion. And all of them are using nylon, cotton, polyester. Now, polyester, you see where it stands? 80 million tons of polyester were produced last year. So we are using a large amount of chemicals and all of them will go to the landfill. In the landfill, because of the clothes we wear, one truck in 1 second is going to the landfill. Imagine one full truckload of clothes every second going to the landfill. This is the wasteland I talked to you a short while ago. Now, we are all very fashionable, high fashion. We know we want to be the best. Everybody should look at you as most fashionable person. So, fashion industry is an industry. Right from top to bottom, you have the wigs over here and you have the shoes over there. Everything is fashionable. So, in search of our fashion, we have produced a multitude of products, and that's 200 billion clothes. There are only 8 billion people, but 200 billion clothes were sold. And you know, the rich people, they wear their clothes all through the lifetime, one cloth 7 times, not more than that. 8th time, they will throw it away. So we have a large collection of clothes. Not the one which when I was a child, that we would have thrown to our neighbor's place. And recycling is not done by the clothes sector. I am referring to clothes as waste, only 1%. 99% of the clothes which we wear are not recycled, they go to the landfill. Think of that. Every time you wear your clothes, think that this is the problem. And all natural fabrics, cotton, when it goes to the landfill, it produces carbon dioxide and methane. So it becomes a greenhouse gas. Even when you wear a green dress, that green dress also will produce greenhouse gases. This is greenwashing, will not help. So what we should do? We should recycle. If you recycle, the life cycle I wear for 1 year, I try to wear it for 2 years. I make it for 3 years. So I can extend it and it will be less waste. Never buy new clothes. This I showed you, 10% of the carbon emission today are from the cloth industry. And that is equal to all the air and sea transport in the world. The ships and the planes which are traveling, the ships in the sea and the planes in the air, however fuel they use, that much is used by, that much carbon dioxide is released by our clothes. Now, I want you to look at the jeans, classical example, made up of cotton and throwing away. The throwaway mentality is classically shown here. This is cotton, denim cotton, very hard cotton. Nobody recycles it, you just throws it away. And we are now suggesting chemical technologies, particularly cotton technologies, have developed a method by which it can be taken out. Even if the jeans is not only of cotton, but also nylon or polyester used, chemicals can be separate cellulose and polyamide separately. So they have developed this method and it will be made into fibers again and you can start recycling. But one problem is that most of us are very familiar with the blue jeans. The blue jeans uses a chemical called indigo. This indigo was formerly made from a plant in India. But right now, indigo is made by chemically, synthetically, artificially. And therefore, many hazardous, harmful chemicals are entering into the atmosphere to give the green color. So there are 6 R's I want you to remember. Rethink. Before buying a cloth, think. Should I buy? Can I buy next year? Rethink. Then refuse. If somebody is flooding you with clothes, ask them, refuse. I don't want. I am not a waste manager. Reduce your use of clothes and reuse it as many times as possible by good washing and laundering. And repair. If some small hole comes, go to a darner, ask them to darn it. And there are expert darners who can remove the holes in such a way that it will not be visible. So the usability can be increased. And then finally, and most importantly, do recycling. If you do not have that mindset of recycling, waste will be waste managers. And recycling can be done by mechanically, by breaking down into shreds, or chemically by dipping them in solvents. And there is another one. You can sell it to others, upcycling. So beyond recycling, go for upcycling. Now I want to tell you the sad story of the silk saree. Very expensive, very fashionable, costly, most admired, but the waste it produces is very high. First of all, it's all made by is a protein. Silk is a protein, just like the proteins which you get from milk. It is silk is a protein. It's a protein of glycine, serine, and alanine. Yes. Now it comes in a pupa. When that pupae comes out of itself, the silk thread is broken. So you have to kill the pupal stage. If you don't kill it, it will come out and the silk is broken. Then you will not get that long, unbroken silk thread. They are killed. Now, how many of them had to be killed? Millions. And the waste is this second white, this is the pupal stage. If it comes out, that becomes waste because that silk is unusable. And the silk industry, this is the type of waste you get from the landfill. So they make a huge amount of waste. So right now, what we are going to say is net zero. Do in such a way that the waste generation is less than 1%. Less than 1%. Net zero carbon. But anything you do, right, if you are in the habit of hitting a match and burning a lamp, the wick is cellulose, the oil is carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and carbon dioxide will be the production of that. Now, I want to tell you that even the worst material can be wealth. When you go to space as a space scientist, you'll be drinking your urine. Now, the urine which we consider as a waste is a wealth. So what you do is you use a reverse osmosis. You cannot take water to the space. So when you give out 1 liter of urine, that 1 liter of urine should be converted into 990 milliliters of water, drinking water. This is done by reverse osmosis. So the only industry, the space industry, knows how to convert its waste into wealth. And the absolute example is go on a space tour of 6 months. You have excellent water to drink, much better than the water you will get here in your bottled water, because it is done by forward osmosis, removing all the suspended materials. Then by reverse osmosis, all the dissolved salts are remain. You have H2O, hydrogen oxide, in its purest form. And that is where the waste is converted into a wealthy product. Now, I will mention a quick thing about, because we are all electronic waste producers. Everybody. We have our watches which are electronic. We have our cell phones which are electronic. So we do not know how much electronic waste we are producing. We have our electric bulbs. All of them will become electronic waste. And don't throw your electronic waste along with your other waste. All wastes are not equal. Some waste, particularly electronic waste, is not equal to other waste. Imagine for a moment you have a tube light at home. As long as it's working, you switch on and the light gives you 40 watts of light, you are very happy. The moment it falls down and it breaks, it becomes a waste. Dangerous waste, because you cannot pick it like that. And if you have a beautiful lamp, which is the mercury lamp, that falls down, it is also broken glass. But remember, there is mercury, a very toxic material inside that bulb. When your thermometer falls down, be careful. There is mercury. And that mercury will evaporate and you will inhale and you will be subjected to mercury poisoning. So remember, when a tube light breaks down, you have to see that it is disposed of as electronic waste. And not only that, these bulbs contain, inside there is a coating. That coating is made of a material called lanthanides and rare earths. They are rare earths, very difficult to get. Nowhere in the world you get rare earths except in China. There's only one country which makes all the rare earths for the whole world. Therefore, your dependence on a single country increases if you go on breaking down your tube lights. So electronic waste should be managed, handled very carefully in such a way that all the valuables are extracted from that. So it's very different from other ways. So remember, all I wanted to say now today is this. We are waste producers. And our business is to reduce as much waste as we can do. If you are going for higher education and for research, please take waste management or resource management as one of the subjects where you can add value to the world. And of all the ways, be careful about electronic waste. There are methods where people collect it and do. You must fall into their supply chain. Don't throw it to the Bangarwala, but give it to electronic waste managers. Well, that's my message to all of you. Waste is important. Manage it very well. Thank you.
Very well.
Thank you.
Any questions, anyone?
Good.
And thank you, sir, for sharing such nice information. So my question is that, is there any center or like that where we can deposit our waste and that can be used for the recycling or like that?
That's a very interesting and extremely important question. You are referring to normal waste or electronic waste? Oh, very good. Yes. Okay, yeah. There are NGOs who are operating in the field. They collect the cloth and they have a reuse method now. For example, in the case of jeans, they will cut it, convert into school bags and hand it over to them. But this is still in an elementary stage. We do not have a full-fledged mechanism, a seamless mechanism for accepting it. But currently, from the last year onwards, NGOs are active in the field and they segregate the clothes and collect those hard ones into reusable form. That is in progress. Mike.
BMC has a plan. They implemented here also to manage your house waste also. In fact, they have a very small box they used to provide. It was costing some 1,200 rupees. But that whatever is generated means you can put it in your house, and out of that, that amount can be recovered maybe in a year or two, because whatever you are making that vermicompost kind of thing, that can be sold. It gives good value. They have demonstrated it also here. If required, maybe earlier there was one person called Subhash Dalvi. You can Google also for him. He was the one-man army when this mission was going on. We have also developed one vermicompost pit. So that you can, BMC doesn't want now to carry all those waste material and so on. But e-waste also, as you said, you are already aware, but in Mumbai, there are already defined centers by the government to which you should give. Don't give your e-waste to
Yes.
regular kachra wala.
Yeah.
Because they will burn and try to get it out of it, lot of things. In your computers, there are keyboard, motherboards or those PCBs. They have a lot of good material. Earlier, there used to be gold. Nowadays, they are using a different material, but that's why they are more interested in that. So you had some question.
Thank you. Sir, predominantly it was the same question because it's Diwali time. So, all the cleaning and clothes is where we are facing a challenge. E-waste works out well. Even go to the Chroma, they give you a receipt, they plant a tree in your name. So, we encourage that. Clothes was one thing which you answered. What I was more keen for is what you mentioned is one part of the recycling. Is there some tool or some app that all of us can use to calculate what is our carbon footprint? As daily people, we should be aware what we are doing.
Yes. This is the ultimate objective of environmentalism, that the carbon content or the carbon footprint for every activity. For example, if you are cycling for 1 kilometer, if you are walking for that, or buying a product. For example, the same product may have two different carbon footprints. For example, a locally grown apple and then one imported from abroad, the logistic chain is long. So you have to find out the history of a product. And the whole supply chain has to be calculated. And there are calculations done by today industries. They have to report it as part of their CSR, the total carbon footprint of all the inventory of materials, where they bought it from. So that technology is improving, and environmental reporting, ESG, demands that it should be done by industries, but it will be very interesting for individuals to know their lifestyle and the carbon footprint they are creating, and they will be happy if they know that they have reduced it. Yes, but theoretically, yes. But then, if I just take one soap, let us say that coconut oil has come either from Goa or from Nagpur. So the distance involved in traveling, that I am not able to calculate. There are again very specific problems. For example, if you use phosphoric acid with Rajasthan phosphate and phosphoric acid with the phosphorus, I brought it from Cyprus, the values will be very different. So a phosphate tablet which I take will depend upon its value. Its carbon footprint depends upon where it came from. So sourcing management will give you deep insight into that.
There are some web apps also.
Yeah, some are trying that.
Tata,
TMG.
they came out with a booklet where you can find out what are the materials you are using in your house, what kind of bulb, etc. And then you can find out what is your carbon footprint.
A first order.
Also, you just enter your data honestly, and you will find how much carbon footprint you have. We had a gallery on climate change where we had introduced, but now that has been changed because we did it in 2012. So maybe now
That's very interesting. It's very interesting.
We have our colleague, Mr. Saket Singh, sir, from Bhopal. He is online. He has joined. He want to ask a question. Yes, Saket, you can ask your question.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving me an opportunity, sir. It is always a treat to listen you, and it was very, very encouraging and mesmerizing talk, sir. I want to have your 3 views on CO2 emission, because you have mentioned waste to best. Even for space is a very great industry. They are highly dependent on this management system. So as we all are emitting CO2 on planet Earth, and it is very serious concern. But for Mars, so much CO2 is already in atmosphere, and adding more CO2 when we are going to colonize Mars may add value to terraforming the Mars. So how will you look into this perspective, and adding more garbage or waste on the Mars soil, how it will affect the chemistry and the atmospheric interaction for future space exploration, sir?
The space immediately generally is vacuum, and as you go further, it will be all hydrogen and helium. But around the planetary atmospheres, you have these gases, and if carbon dioxide is the material there, the primordial soup, which is responsible for generating life, the original one, that hydrogen cyanide will not be formed. So carbon dioxide sequestration will have to be done if you want to inhabit the place. That is, you have to decarbonize, and decarbonization technology will increase. There must be molecular sieves which will be available for taking carbon dioxide out, but large scale carbon stock will have to be created before the planet becomes habitable. If you have and not only that, you have to have another technology by which if you can electrolytically decompose hydrogen carbonate into oxygen and water, then the conditions for the existence of life is better. So at the moment, we look as carbon dioxide as a resource material. Either remove it, then you have to replace it with some other gas. And if you can create oxygen out of that, part of the job is over. So the chemical technologies will have a huge challenge in converting a carbon dioxide breathing zone into human habitation as we know today. The challenges are very high. It's not only on the gaseous phases, there are other problems of gravity, diffusion, mass transfer, all of them come in if you are thinking of rehabilitating in Mars. But it remains a dream. Once upon a time thought we can never go up above our atmosphere. Today we are going from balloon to rockets we have come. Now we have come to satellites which can move around. Probably we will have extraterrestrial existence in other planets after making a chemical atmosphere capable of supporting life. Right now, textbooks in chemistry will not give you the solution for this.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, I think children are getting slightly.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for being with us. And thanks to Dr. A.P. Jayaraman. He's always with us. Whenever we want him, he's always available. And thanks for our online audience also, those who were able to join. We will try the next month. Actually, we have many programs, particularly for children, those who can. Every time we have programs, and now we'll be celebrating our anniversary. Nehru Science Center was inaugurated on 11th November 1985. So next month we have our anniversary. We'll have some, I think, a week-long celebration. Some programs will be announced. Many of them will be free. Some of them may be chargeable also. Very rarely we do chargeable, but sometimes we have to do because when we say free, everybody says, yes, I will be coming. And on the day, nobody turns up because they don't have anything to lose. So we charge some nominal fee, but then we understand it much better. At least some sort of, say, I have paid, because we are very good in that. If I pay 10 rupees, I will ensure that at least 10 rupees luggage, something worth 10 rupees, I should take it back. So we are very good for our value for money. Okay, thank you for being with us. Stay in touch, keep coming and join our programs, sometime online, sometime offline. Better you come here, you have many things to see, 14 galleries and many other facilities. Every time you will come, you will find something new. Or maybe